On Larry King Now, Jussie Smollett.
They said it takes 10,000 hours to become an overnight success. And I've been working in the business since I was 4. I got my SAG card in 1987, Larry. So, I've been doing it for a minute. So to everyone else, it's wonderful because it seems like, I came out of nowhere, but I know the truth.
What's special about Lee Daniels?
He has the ability to look at you and see you in a way that maybe no one else does. He sees specifically the things that maybe society would tell you are the ugly things, and he sees them as beautiful things.
You said in a 2016 interview with Out magazine, if I had to label myself, I would label myself as a gay man. Are you averse to being categorized?
It's not that I'm averse to being categorized, but I don't wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and be like, still gay. I am Jussie. I'm Jussie Smollett, son of Janet and Joel.
Plus, just learned that his great-grandfather was Jewish.
Yeah.
You are one of the tribe.
I'm bluish.
You're bluish.
I'm bluish. I'm a black Jew.
All next on Larry King Now. Welcome to Larry King Now. Our special guest is actor, singer, director, and producer Jussie Smollett, whose breakout role on Empire has made him a household name. Jussie is executive producer of the documentary series America Divided, along with our friend Norm Lear and Gretchen Carlson. The finale airs Friday, May 25th at 9 p.m. on Epix. Empire just completed its 4th season, during which Jussie directed an episode, and he recently released his debut album called Some of My Music. Cute.
Thank you. How you doing, Larry?
Tell me about America Divided. How'd you get involved?
I actually got involved with through my dear friend, Alfre Woodard. And she called me up and she said, listen, Shoshana Guy, who is one of our producers and the director of my episode particularly, and she said, I just think that this would be something you would be really interested in. And I talked to Shoshana, and I jumped at the chance, obviously, to work with Norman Lear, legendary Norman Lear. Nothing like him.
Hasn't lost an inch.
At all. But at the same time, to be able to work with him in this capacity of telling a story and telling the stories of so many incredible people, what they've been through, and attempting to have some sort of truth and reconciliation. That's really what got me, was the idea of truth and reconciliation.
How many parts to the series?
I believe there's like
8. Are you on the last one?
I'm on the last one.
Is that the only one you're on?
Yeah, it's the only one.
And you're in the one about removing Confederate statues. Mm-hmm. What's your role on the documentary? I
guess I kind of take the journalist role. I get to interview a lot of people, mostly the people that are descendants of men and women who had been lynched, as well as some of the descendants of men and women who did the lynching. So that was really intense. I've never really had an experience like that. I had to interview one of the heads of the Sons of the Confederacy, and I was very, very knowledgeable about the fact that I am an artist, not a journalist. I don't know how y'all do what you do.
You got mad?
Well, you get angry, and you have to, the whole time I'm thinking to myself, what would Oprah do? What would Oprah do?
Well, did he have a lot of what his forebearers felt?
Mm-hmm.
He did?
Yeah. And for me, it was the first time that I've actually sat across from somebody. You see people, you talk to people. I'm very aware of what's going on. At the same time, to sit across from someone and look in their eyes and see they truly believe what they're saying.
Is it hard to be cool?
Yeah, it was hard to be cool. There was a moment where I stopped and I said, I just need to make it clear I'm an artist, not a journalist.
Now, the show was about statues, so you were talking to people in favor of taking down the statues and some people in favor of leaving them up.
Statues and the Confederate flags, yeah.
Were you at all able to be objective?
I think so. I would like to believe so. I think that people will probably have to watch it in order to come to that conclusion themselves. But I would like to believe that I was trying to be although my obvious ideals, I think I was trying my best to be as objective and as unbiased as possible.
Would you like there to be no statues, or do you favor those who say, put all the statues of these Confederate leaders in one little Confederate park so that people can say these are who they were, but not spreading them out around the city?
I think that it has to be done in a responsible way. I think that if we're looking at the times and the dates and the years when these Confederate statues actually were erected, I think that it's obvious of the times that they were erected. It was always, during Jim Crow or during, it was more to prove a point. And just the idea that somehow we're rewriting history and making these men seem like they were these great heroes when in fact they weren't. And in fact, they were torturing an entire people. And I think that it's interesting that people kind of change the writing of history to fit their own agenda. I would like to believe that somehow there would be a Civil War museum or something like that, that maybe they're placed there. But if we're going to place them, we must tell the full story of who they were and what they did.
Absolutely. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's absolutely. Did you ever understand, because I've never understood prejudice. Mm-hmm. As a black man, did you ever understand why people thought differently of you just because of the pigment of your skin? There's no other reason.
Yes, I do understand.
You
I don't
understand.
agree with it.
You understand.
But I understand.
And your understanding tells you what?
I think that somehow we've come, and particularly in this country, really all over the world, obviously, but talking about this country in particular, it's this fear, and I think that one of the women who is a white woman, what she said in the doc, in America Divided, was she said, I think that there's a fear of what will we lose. What I have not ever understood is the idea of someone thinking that they're better than someone else due to their pigment. I think that there is a fear, there's a lack of self-security in themselves. But, then again, to me, it's not for me to understand because it's not my problem. It's theirs.
And your episode will air May 25th at 9 o'clock
Yes.
on Epix.
Yes.
Our guest is musician, actor, and America Divided producer Jussie Smollett. We're talking Empire and its effect on hip-hop after the break. Stay with us. We're back with Jussie Smollett. Is that right?
That's right.
I always want to get it right. And he's on this incredible America Divided series, and he'll be on the last one of the series on May 25th. I want to get to some other things that you've said in the past. You said recently, you tweeted, Fox News is a racist channel. They've made a fortune from it. It's their brand. You believe they're a racist channel?
Absolutely. I stand wholeheartedly by that.
You watch them then a lot.
I have watched them many times.
And you think it streams through most of their shows?
Most of them, I think so. I haven't seen them all, but I do know that the brand that they have chosen to take on is one of extreme right-wing, but when I say right-wing, I don't mean simply Republican. I mean that they have taken on kind of this whitewashing of the world. And I think that it's very, very detrimental to the idea that we're trying to get across, which is unity and love. I think that as a news station, any news station that is completely biased to the right or the left is wrong. But I do think that Fox News specifically, what they do is they don't just take the politics of it, they take people's fears and frustrations and they milk those things and they further perpetuate certain stereotypes that we don't need in this world.
You think people with a public profile have a responsibility to speak out?
I can't speak on everybody that has a public profile. I know for myself, I have a public profile and I just haven't changed. The world around me has changed, but I haven't changed. I've been talking up. When I had 200 followers on Twitter or Instagram, I was talking up. So whether it's 200 or 5 million, it still is, it's my duty. It's just the way that I was raised. I was raised to not just shut up and roll over and play dead.
Back to Empire. What was it like to gain instant stardom for you?
I have a really good friend named Tika Sumpter, who's an incredible actress, and she said that, a lot of people say this, but she said specifically, she said it takes 10,000 hours to become an overnight success. And I've been working in the business since I was 4. I got my SAG card in 1987, Larry. So, I've been doing it for a minute. So to everyone else, it's wonderful because it seems like, I came out of nowhere, but I know the truth, that I've been struggling and working hard for
overnight success.
Yeah, I'm 35 years old. I've been in the business for 31 years. So, I've always held down a job. I've always taken care of myself. So it's nice to be able to support myself doing what I actually want to do. But it's been great.
What's special about Lee Daniels?
He has the ability to Well, a million things are special about Lee Daniels, but two things specifically. He has the ability to look at you and see you in a way that maybe no one else does. He sees specifically the things that maybe society would tell you are the ugly things, and he sees them as beautiful things. And he will hold up a mirror to you and strip you down to who you really are, like strip you down to the ground, so that you can be as honest as you possibly can. I think that that's why he's gotten the best performances out of all of us, from Oprah to Monique to Mariah Carey to obviously Gabourey Sidibe to all of us on Empire now. He's able to dig so deep that he brings things out of you that you're scared of yourself.
You said in a 2016 interview with Out magazine, if I had to label myself, I would label myself as a gay man. Are you averse to being categorized?
It's not that I'm averse to being categorized, because I feel like, it's just, I don't wake up in the morning, like I don't turn over in bed and look at my significant other and say, oh my gosh, look at my gay lover. You know what I'm saying? Do you look at your wife and say, oh my goodness, look at my heterosexual wife? You know what I'm saying?
I have never said that.
Yeah, I don't wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and be like, still gay. So to me, it's just a thing of, I am Jussie. I'm Jussie Smollett, son of Janet and Joel, brother to 5 beautiful siblings. It's who I am. But I understand that there is a certain level of misrepresentation and lack of representation. And for that, I'm willing to kind of put myself out there in a way that ordinarily I'd say, screw them. Like, I don't have to talk about myself, but I do think that it's important. Younger people are looking up to you, and it's okay to be able to say, this is who I am, and you're good. Like, figure out who you are, you're good. You're just fine. You're not weird, you're not strange, you're not normal either. You know what I'm saying? None of us are strange, none of us are weird, none of us are normal.
What is normal?
What is normal?
The weird part of it all is, I have no idea why I'm heterosexual. I have no idea why.
And I have no idea why I'm homosexual.
Girls turn me on and men don't. I don't know why. I didn't make a decision.
Right.
You didn't make a decision.
Right. Exactly.
Got that straight. Okay, now all of you understand that.
Larry King said it, damn it, so it's
That's
real.
right, so it is. I am the king. We're discussing the making of Jussie's debut album after the break, and what's it like to be in the midst of his first worldwide tour.
Yeah.
More with Jussie Smollett.
It's fine, Larry.
In a moment. I want to say, we'll be back with Jussie. America Divided. He produced it along with Norman Lear and Gretchen Carlson. He's on the finale Friday, May 25th at 9 p.m. on Epix. Just learned that his great-grandfather came to the United States from Poland, changed the name to Smollett. His great-grandfather was Jewish.
Yeah.
You are one of the tribe.
I'm bluish.
You're bluish.
I'm bluish. I'm a black Jew.
You released your first album in March. How long were you working on it?
About 30 years. It's been a long time coming, but we finally got to release some music of my own. I keep saying I'm so grateful for Empire, but I've been singing soundtracks for the last 4 seasons. So it's nice to be able to release my own stuff.
You're on a worldwide tour. What's that like?
It's incredible. That to me is what it's all for. I'm not a fan of being in the studio. I love creating, but I'm actually not a fan of being in the recording studio. But the reason why I enjoy it is because at the end of the day, the final product is, and the light at the end of the tunnel is getting to perform it live for people. We went to Germany, we went to Switzerland, we went to France. We're now starting the U.S. leg of the tour. Every date has been sold out, but in December we're going to do an African tour. So we've been able to go all over the world and see different people, and it's awesome. It's beautiful.
Have you been to Africa?
I have. I shot my video for Hurt People that was just released in South Africa.
Do you think it's Empire that made you famous in Europe and like?
Yeah, of course.
Sure.
It wasn't the Mighty Ducks, Larry. It's definitely
You were
Empire.
a kid actor. Were you in the Mighty Ducks?
Yeah, I was in the Mighty Ducks. I was in the Mighty Ducks. I was in North, directed by Rob Reiner. Yeah, I still skate. You don't want to see me on these blades. I'll be killing it.
Okay, what's the city with the craziest fans you've been in?
Oh my goodness. Probably Philly, DC, and Atlanta.
Philly, DC?
Philly, DC, and Atlanta. First of all, Philadelphia, that's a whole different group of people. Like that Philadelphia in itself is like a different country because we got a different style of dress, a different style of talk, like Lee Daniels is from there. I think that probably because Empire is rooted in Philly, the Lion family's supposed to be from there. Philly fan love is just
they're the
extra.
toughest fan in sports, though.
Oh yeah, they are.
They love their teams, but they hate.
Yeah.
As someone once said, they would
fight somebody.
They would boo a cure for cancer. They threw snowballs at Santa Claus.
Yeah.
On an Eagle halftime. Okay, we play a little game of If You Only Knew.
Goodness.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Can I really say what my guilty pleasure is? Let's be nice. We won't say what my real guilty pleasure is. Guilty pleasure is I like Twizzlers and French fries.
Person you'd trade places with for a day?
I'd trade places with you for a day.
You would?
Yeah, I definitely would. I think that'd be cool.
Well,
I love suspenders.
You're Jewish and you love suspenders?
Exactly.
What the hell?
Exactly.
Secret talent?
I can belch on cue and I can belch entire songs. I sat there See? I'm a G. Come on,
You
Larry.
can belch a tune?
I can belch a tune. I can sing all of I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston or Dolly Parton. Take your pick.
Belching?
Yeah.
Want to give me a little of it?
Yeah, will always love you.
How did you develop this talent?
It's something that God gave me. It's a talent that the Lord and the universe blessed me with. And
Let's
you don't argue with the Lord and the universe.
Correct. Favorite album of all time?
Off the Wall by Michael Jackson.
Strangest job you've ever had?
I was a clown at children's parties.
You were. Something you're awful at?
I don't know. I'd have to think really long for that one, Larry. Something that I'm awful at.
Well, I can't draw.
We can come back to it. I'm actually okay at drawing. I'm not awful at it, but I'm not great at it.
Musician you'd most like to collaborate with?
Maxwell, Vusi Maklasela, and Janet Jackson.
Most influential working musician today?
For me, the most influential artist still to this day, to me, is Janet Jackson.
What keeps you up at night?
The state of the world, honestly.
Luxury you can't live without?
I think it's my family. I don't know if that's a luxury or if that's a need. That's a need.
That's a need. Yeah.
It's not a luxury. Luxury that I can't live without.
You dig fine cars?
No, I don't. I haven't spent my money yet. You know what I'm saying?
You don't know yet?
Yeah, I don't know yet.
Last time you were starstruck?
Oh, I think it was Harry Belafonte.
I love Hesh.
When I met Harry Belafonte.
Hesh.
Yeah.
Known a long time.
Yeah.
Funniest fan encounter?
It's not the funniest, but I was at a Whole Foods. It was the first time that I realized that I was known. I was at a Whole Foods getting a salad, and a church van of a bunch of, we'll just say, mature women came up, and they were just like, it's like they were walking so slow and so cute, and then they walked up one by one. They were like, Jamal! And that was the moment and it took me, I was late to work because it took me like 10, 15 minutes just trying to help them. They wouldn't let me, for whatever reason, touch their camera phones, but they couldn't figure out how to use their camera phones. So that was pretty special. That was nice.
All right, you asked, he's answering. Jussie will be diving into some of your many social media questions in our final segment. We'll be right back. We're with Jussie Smollett. I'll change your name before this is over.
It's fine. Larry King.
Kingle. Before we get into social media questions, you got a lot of messages from people just saying you're an inspiration to them.
Thank you.
Why do you think people connect with you?
I think that I've been very open, not just with the character that I play, but with who I am. I think I've been very open about being what society would consider to be the underdog. And I think that somehow we can all identify with that, regardless of race, class, gender, sexuality, religion. We can all identify with the idea of being prejudged, some more than others, obviously, but we all have the idea of feeling like we're not good enough. And I think that when we see people like that somehow, that tell that story, I think that we can identify with them.
Is your partner in show business?
No, not at all.
Let's dive into the social media questions. Faith Breezy 44, who's your biggest influence in music?
Michael Jackson.
Dion Christian 6. If you could portray a person in a biopic, who would it be and why?
Should I say? There's a really, really special biopic that I want to do. I'm just not going to say what it is, but it's somebody. It's just one of the greatest American artists of all time, and it's not Michael Jackson or Prince.
Are you working on it?
Yeah.
Tasia Sellers 1. If you could change a few things about today's society, what would they be and why?
I would change the idea that somehow attention is more important than substance. I would change the idea that we do it for the likes, but not for the respect.
Damian Banks, what inspired you to write the song Insecurities on your new album, Some of My Music?
Because it was just something that I have deep down in my soul. And there's a line in there where I say, will his blackness scare white folks away? Will they all turn when they hear he's gay? Is my success just one big mistake? Nah, don't be a bitch listening to what they say. That's just my insecurities. It's this idea that somehow, you know, when Empire first started, for instance, I remember my manager and my publicist had a call with the network and a call about my sexuality. And I found that out and I was enraged because I'm like, how are you gonna have a call about something that's personal to me and I'm not on it, number one, but why are we even having a call about that? That's so stupid. You know, it's actually their insecurities, not mine.
Yeah. Princess Lion 17, have you thought about doing an action movie?
Yeah, that would be fun, for sure. I mean, I did Alien Covenant with Ridley Scott. And there was certainly some action in there, but I would love to do more.
Ricky Larson 4, does everybody that sings on Empire actually sing their segment songs?
Yeah.
P. Fomidis, if you were not in entertainment, what do you think you'd be doing?
If I was not in entertainment, what do I think I would be doing?
Running for office?
Yeah, maybe.
That's what I would guess.
I'd be a good politician.
Royal Rice X, how do you relate to your character on Empire?
His heart, his sense of loyalty. Jamal Lyon is still to this day the only one that has not gone against the family.
D. Pinto 85. When my best friend and I walked down the aisle together for the first time as husband and wife, Hemingway was playing. I love your music. When did you realize your musical talents?
Well, thank you. I don't remember not knowing that that this is all I wanted to do. So I don't know if it's like I recognize that I could make people happy with what I did, and I'm sure that as a kid it was the attention that I was getting for it, but I knew from a really early age, I keep saying this, I feel like when you're young, you know what your gifts are, and it's just about like nurturing that.
This will make you feel good. Our final, a comment from Desi and Wheezy. I just want you to know that your singing helps calm my 6-year-old autistic granddaughter down. She loves your voice.
That means a lot to me. Thank you, sir.
Great meeting you, Jussie.
You too. Pleasure.
Thanks to my guest, Jussie Smollett. The season finale of America Divided airs May 25th at 9 p.m. Empire just finished its 4th season, and Jussie's album is Some of My Music. You can always find me on Twitter at King's Things, and I'll see you next time.